A printed circuit board, open up any bit of electrical equipment that you probably own, calculator, whatever, and you're going to see one of those green printed circuit boards inside. They have essentially taken the place of traditional hand wiring and electronic product. So when you see it, all of that sort of silver, it's called tracking, so all the silver sort of lines that you see on a printed circuit board, that replaces the wiring that you need in an amplifier to join up the components. And the components are just punched onto the printed circuit board. So the way an amplifier is made that uses a printed circuit board is the supplier will have 1,000 printed circuit boards made up, and then they'll take their chassis and each one will just get dumped in. It's a great way of cutting a huge amount of labour out of making an amplifier. So lots of all cheap amplifiers will be made that way. In terms of reliability, it's not ideal. When a valve amplifier gets hot and over time, if the printed circuit board flexes at all, you'll find that there'll be breaks in the tracking and the components will come loose, which will obviously give you reliability issues. And tonally speaking, when you put audio and sort of voltage and all the important things that go into making a good tube amplifier through tracking, there just physically isn't enough wire to really get a quality tone. So all the components that are in a Cornford amplifier are wired together using thick pieces of proper wire, each one hand soldered to the next, and that's why, in terms of reliability, in terms of tone, and also as well, a smaller point, just background noise. There's the Cornfords will be more reliable, better sounding, have less background noise.
I think another really valid point of hand wiring versus PCB is that if something does go wrong with a hand wired amplifier, it's much easier to repair. Like having a Volvo with a massive engine and everything spread apart, it's easier to get in and do stuff. With a PCB, you kind of got problems because you can't really rework the circuit unless you rip it out, whack another one in. So it's easier to repair if you get a problem.
I mean, you don't want to talk about amps going wrong sort of almost on the day that you buy them, but absolutely with a tube amplifier that's going to be gigged over a number of years, it will inevitably need some servicing at some point. And any engineer is going to tell you that they can open the chassis up on a Cornford amplifier, quickly identify where the fault is, replace a single component, bang, you're back on the road. Fantastic for professional players to know that that's how easy these things are to service.